So this is the these are the mostly peaceful protests that are happening in LA right now. You might think that this is a screenshot from Grand Theft Auto 6. It's actually not. It's LA today. Here we go.
Has been going on right outside the federal detention center. Most of those demonstrators were very peaceful. They were chanting, they were shouting. People were driving by, honking their horns, and again they were expressing their anger about the detention of so many immigrants at the federal center. Most of the evening, the federal.
I love how like she's saying this while she has two retards just being as annoying as possible, stream sniping her in the background.
Yeah, it's totally. But at a certain point, some of the demonstrators got very close to the property. In fact, some of them
throwing gang signs. Yeah, I guess so.
Tagging the building, started banging at fences, and shortly after all that happened, the agents started firing off.
Why did he bring his? Who the fuck brings your dog to a protest? Who does this? That's so insane. Oh my god. Yeah, CNN called it peaceful. Let me see if I can find another clip for that. And so, yeah, they're calling this a peaceful protest, which you can clearly see it's not. But anyway, let's go back. I'm going to show one more of these here. Where did it go? No, it's not that one. I think there's one more besides this. Because, yeah, they've totally turned this place into a PvP server. It's absolutely fucking insane. Yeah, oh, here we go. Yeah, this is CNN talking about it, too.
So there's unrest. Let's start with there's protest. Lawful protest, which is allowed in this country. There is some unrest. Generally,
there's some unrest. Yeah. I would say that would in fact be true. Accurate.
Dealt with by local law enforcement, and that there needs to be state support through state police. And sometimes even National Guard under a governor's authority. What is happening tonight is unprecedented. So there's unrest.
I don't see how people say this is unprecedented. It's not unprecedented at all. We had this happen 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And so here we go. Here's another one right here. Oh, a National Guard.
You know, let's hope that no one is hurt and no one is injured and it doesn't escalate from here. Look at the flag. Yeah, Guy, I see
there it is.
You
Mexican flag can, you know.
Man,
you know, this is criminal.
I can't wait to see all these clips be played on the midterm elections. Yeah, I can easily see a lot of these getting played on the midterm elections every fucking day. They're doing it themselves before back to Mexico. I don't know if the guy's a citizen or not. I have no idea.
I hope people are held accountable for, and I'm talking about the riots right here.
Yeah.
Where are the cops?
Yeah, where are they?
That's a good. See, that's a good fucking question.
Let's hope.
Like people are getting their cars burned down. Everything's getting destroyed. I'll pull up a live thing. So apparently, okay, here we go. And obviously Donald Trump is tweeting about this. Well, here we go.
Oh, they're coming out. They're coming out. They're coming out.
Oh. Scatter time? Yeah, exactly. As people like this do it. I mean, if they, let me see here if I can find it. So this is the post that I guess Trump made about this right here. A once great city, Los Angeles, has been invaded and occupied by illegal aliens and criminals. Now violent insurrectionist mobs are swarming and attacking our federal agents to try to stop our deportation operations, but these lawless riots only strengthen our resolve. That's right. I'm directing Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, Pete Hegseth, and Attorney General Pam Bondi in coordination with all of the relevant departments to take such action necessary to liberate Los Angeles from the migrant invasion and put an end to these migrant riots. Order will be restored, the illegals will be expelled, and Los Angeles will be set free. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I could not fucking agree more. This is more normal behavior.
Their squad cars from North Hollywood
Sorry
Division.
about that. I'm just going to turn down the audio so you guys don't have to hear it. But, you know, you've got APD. These are not APD. What is this here? Fucking LAPD. You know, cars, I think, getting burned down. Like, this is crazy. Right? Absolutely fucking insane. I see the Kash Patel tweet. Let me go back. I see if I can find it. If there's any more of this here. And obviously, they're always posting this too. Rioters are waving foreign flags, threatening family members of National Guard. What is this? So there's the National Guard right there. Oh, man.
Get the blood down. Your families are next.
Do it!
I want you to put a hand on every protester like this in case they decide to rush so you can pull your comrade back.
Comrade, oh my God. I feel like there is no way that they come back from this. Like, this looks so bad. And then there's also this one too. Let me go back. I'll see if I can find a few more of this too. And is this right now? Well, it was earlier today. And let me go back. I'll see if I can pull up some more of them here.
Okay, so everybody is like running off right now. I'm not sure why. I can see just down the street. My photographer can move with me a little bit. There's a huge group of people marching down the street right now, and you can see this might be what we've seen before.
Jesus.
Look at that, Andy. If you can just scoot over to the right, look over here to the right. You can see.
It's going absolutely
You can see there's protesters squaring off with law enforcement right now. Can you see that? So there you have, okay, we're hearing the flashbangs.
Uh-oh.
We're hearing the flashbangs right now. This is what we've been seeing night after night. These clashes, some of these violent protesters squaring off with law enforcement. You have that law enforcement in riot gear there. You could see them with their shields. They're forming a line. They're doing what they can to...
How do we convince these people that the situation is not dire enough to resort to violent riots? In their mind, the gig is up and they have to fight back? Well, it's simple. You put a few of them in jail, and if that doesn't work, you put a few more in jail, and you repeat that process until there's no more of them to put in jail, either because they stop doing it or they're all in jail. Yeah, it's really simple. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's obvious how to deal with this. Live ammo? I don't want to see the police officers shoot people. Like, if a police officer shoots somebody that throws a brick at them, I really don't give a shit. I don't care, and I think that's totally fine. But if you're talking about, like, just people protesting, I don't want to see the officers shooting people randomly.
Protect themselves from these protesters. And you have more of them, more of these protesters coming down the street right now.
What are you saying? Somebody says, what am I saying in terms of, like, throwing a brick? Throwing a brick is a deadly weapon, and a brick could kill somebody. If somebody hits you in the head with a brick, there is a good chance that you'll die, or you will sustain an injury that will change the rest of your life. And I think that police officers, the same as every other citizen, because police officers are citizens, they have the right to defend themselves. And I think that they have the right to proportionally defend themselves. And if people are trying to exact deadly force against a police officer, I think a police officer should be able to defend himself with deadly force. Anybody throwing bricks, I think your life is forfeit. That's what I think. And again, why are you throwing bricks at people in the first place? Who the fuck throws bricks at somebody? It's crazy. Like, if somebody came to your house and they threw a brick at you, and you shot them, I would call that self-defense.
And you can see how quickly this could get out of hand.
It's not even a question.
I'm watching people put on face masks. We're going to continue to watch this. We're seeing this right now. We can see it. Can we walk a little bit? Can we walk a little bit just to show a little bit more?
I get what you're saying, but I respectfully disagree. It's all about intent. The weapon may indeed be deadly, but not all throwers intend to kill. Not all throwers intend to kill. So there are times where somebody is going to point a gun at you. So I just want to explain like how dumb this is, what you're saying. If somebody pulls a gun out at you and they try to shoot you in the shoulder, but they accidentally shoot you in the throat and kill you, do you think that you should have to, oh, wait a minute, maybe they're only trying to hit me in the shoulder, I shouldn't be able to respond with deadly force? It's a ridiculous thing to say. Like, you can't know what the intention of somebody is that's throwing the brick at you. Whoever said that's retarded? Yeah, and like, again, you can shoot people without the intention of killing them. But if somebody shoots you, and even if they don't have the intention of killing you, I think you should have the intention, or not you should have the intention, but you should have the ability to shoot them back with the intent to kill them. Because you can't know that. There are no bricks of peace. If a brick hits somebody, it doesn't matter what the intent is. If it hits them in the head the wrong way, it's just going to kill them anyway. If you're shooting at someone, you should never shoot to wound. Well, what I'm saying is that, do you think that you shouldn't be able to respond to somebody shooting you because maybe they're shooting you to wound you and not to kill you? Obviously not. That's the most retarded thing you could ever say. So the brick thing is the exact same situation. Bricks of peace? Yeah, I'm serious. That's where these people are coming from. You need to actually develop some empathy. Well, and this is the kind of stuff that I'm saying here, right? And let me see about this. So this is, I think, the mind of one of these people that argues like this. So if an ICE agent aims a gun at you, you don't have the right to defend yourself? Well, yeah, because they're not shooting at you. Like, I don't think that they should shoot people that are holding bricks. I think they should shoot people that are throwing bricks. And also, where's the empathy for the police officers that are getting pelted with bricks? What about them? And this is the problem, is that people like this love to advocate for empathy, but they don't actually want to advocate for empathy. They want to advocate for a one-dimensional form of empathy that paints them as the victim and the people that they're attacking as the oppressor. You don't want me to have empathy, because I'm having empathy for the police officers and the people who live in the city that are having their city destroyed, burned down, destroyed, and terrorized by a bunch of crazy fucks. So this entire concept of empathy is totally misguided. You are advocating for empathy towards a person who is trying to throw a brick at another person. This is insane. That defies your logic. You're a psychology major now? You don't need to be. I don't have any psychology. You don't need to have a psychology major to understand that throwing a brick at somebody is a bad idea. You just can't take accountability for the claim I made? Well, I did. It's just stupid. Like, I do have empathy. I have a tremendous amount of empathy. And that empathy lies with the people who are out there trying to protect the country. They're trying to uphold the law. They're getting bricks thrown at them. No, I don't think that people should be punching bags. I don't think so at all. That's not empathy at all. You want to throw bricks and be able to violently oppress people, and the moment that they push back against you, now somehow this is bad. Now you're advocating for empathy. No, you had no empathy in the first place, and you weaponize and you terrorize people, and the moment that you get even a sliver of that back, you try to appeal to people's empathy. No, that's not how it works, and that's not how, I don't think anybody believes that. It's outrageous. It's only when there are consequences? Yes, of course. Retard gone? Yeah, bro is hit by a brick. He's not thinking straight? Yeah, I get so. And I agree completely. Also, there's optics and realities. You don't want to create martyrs. I don't really care about that, honestly. I care about creating a lawful area and a lawful place. And if you want to make a martyr out of a person throwing bricks at police officers or somebody trying to violently assault police officers, then be my guest. Go ahead. But I don't think that's the way the world should work. And I don't think that you should capitulate to logic and rhetoric that paints people that are violent, aggressive, abusive, law-breaking, like people that could be theoretical murderers if they throw it and they hit somebody the wrong way. That person shouldn't be your martyr to begin with. So you can't live your life inside of the confines of the most unreasonable people possible. Because if you do that, you then are also unreasonable.
We can see Andy. If can, okay, we're going to go ahead and move. Stay with me. Stay with me. All right, so here we go. Yeah, we're going to take you up to the line.
And that's the problem, is that these appeals to emotion are completely one-sided. They actually don't have any empathy. They don't have any empathy for these officers. Like, why do you think they want to dox these officers? So they can terrorize their families and put their families in danger. What about their empathy? Well, there isn't any. Well, you can say, oh, well, they deserve it. Yes, I'm sure the kid deserves to be terrorized and have the SWAT called to their house or have somebody throw a brick at their window because their dad has a job. It's outrageous. It never let people use your goodwill against you.
You can see what's happening here. All right, so you can see right now,
yeah, of course,
you have officers that created a line to protect themselves, standing here with these protesters who are continuing to shout at them. The disrespect, the level of disrespect has just been insane over these past few days. You have so many people cursing and shouting at law enforcement. You know, these people are out here, they're just trying to protect and serve. They're just trying to keep this community safe. Following instructions, they're here supporting ICE agents as they carry out their operations, and that this is what they have to deal with. You see a lot of people, I'm looking at...
I disagree hard. I think I think the dude's criticism has something with you not showing empathy towards the families being torn apart. Well, of course I have empathy to them, and that's bad, but the reality is that a family is torn apart whenever a person commits a crime. So if you rob a bank, you don't get to not go to jail because you have a family. If you're driving drunk and you kill somebody, you don't get to not go to jail because you have a family. This is, again, an illogical emotional appeal that doesn't apply in any other situation. Having a family does not make you immune from consequences of breaking the law. This is something that's acknowledged, and everybody knows this with every single other crime, but we're supposed to pretend like this is different? Again, like, it's just, there's no logic to this at all.
A lot of people with their face, okay, they're spraying some more. We're going to scoot back just a little bit more. Staying with the photographer, trying to stay at a safe distance. I got you, Andy. I got you.
Stay with me.
I got you. All right, so you can see they're pulling out the shields. The California National Guard, you can see there, we're hearing more flashbang grenades. Again, you have... All right, so you can see you have the police here, you have the National Guards here.
This is bad.
Tactical vehicles, military vehicles. Again, this is the very same place where all that violence broke out on Friday, when you had the acting ICE director, Todd Lyons, calling it appalling. This is where that happened, where they said that officers, that there were over 1,000 protesters.
I'll go to a live stream in a minute. Yeah, I just want to show you guys some of the other videos and things that are caught up. Oh, this person's she is a senator, I think, or a congressperson. I forgot which one. It's Maxine Waters. Let me read a few more. This isn't a protest. These people are attacking and destroying the building. Yeah, I think so too. And anyway, let Cali sink into the ocean. Well, I don't know about that. I swear a majority of people are just there to get footage, which is kind of weird too. Why can't they just say, what's so bad? Are they doing too? Yeah, I get that they're dads and aunts, but what about them being separated after years of progression and respect in the country? Well, it should have never happened. Like, just because somebody gets away with a crime for, like, and like, so if you apply this to another situation, right? Like, let's say somebody has been selling drugs for 10 years and they haven't gotten arrested, and then they finally get arrested for selling drugs. Can you use the logical argument that, well, because they didn't get arrested for this for 10 years, that now they shouldn't get arrested for selling drugs and, like, selling fentanyl, right? Don't come out selling weed, like actual hard drugs. This is insane. No, just because you get away with breaking the law for a long period of time doesn't mean that just at a certain point the law shouldn't apply to you anymore. Think about how bad that precedent is. Again, and this is the issue, is that I think logic and, like, this type of thinking and logic in general, this is a general, like, viewpoint that I have, is that logic that can be applicable to more situations is oftentimes better logic, and logic that is reductive and only relevant to certain situations is bad logic. And I think that inside of the circumstance that you've created, you think that this is good logic, but if you apply this to any other circumstance, you would immediately know that it's bad. No one's above the law? Yeah, of course, right? Where do these idiots come from? I think that a lot of people, and I have no problem with people that disagree and want to have a conversation about it civilly, right? I mean, like, that person that's, like, coming and insulting and being rude, that's different. But if somebody has an actual point of view or whatever, then that's going to be it. You're oversimplifying the issue. It's multifaceted. It's actually not. It's not multifaceted at all. The fact is that these people are coming over to the country. They are breaking the law. They know that they're breaking the law. They're doing it on purpose. And they had kids and they started a family, or they had a family and they brought them over, and they knew that this is what happens. So at a certain point, again, there is no other crime that we do that is like, oh, well, this person has a family, so they don't have to go to jail. This is ridiculous. Yeah, it's a ridiculous line of thinking, and it doesn't apply to anything else. Please bring it up. I'll debate you on this. I'm not interested in a debate or anything like this. So police officers in gear that makes a brick not deadly. So this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about, right? Police officers are in gear that makes a brick not a deadly weapon anymore. Okay. They're also probably wearing bulletproof vests. Does that mean that you can shoot them with a gun? How could you possibly say something so ridiculous? The concussive impact is what really matters. Like, how could... I don't even understand how a person would even think like this. What a ridiculous thing to say. I can't even fathom the type of thinking that these people have. I can't even imagine it. What a retard! Yes, it's insane.
To stop here, where the guns are, I want y'all to take pictures of these guns and let people know that they're in our city with guns, and I'm sure they have orders to shoot and kill. I don't know, but they otherwise
have auto shoot and kill. Okay, Grandma, let's get you to bed. For sure.
They wouldn't have guns.
One question, Representative Ms. Waters. If there's one statement that a message that you can send to Donald Trump, what is that message here today?
My message to Donald Trump is you are a cruel human being, and that you are using the poorest people in the land, the most vulnerable people in the land, to promote your policy.
The people who are using these poorest and most vulnerable people are the business owners that employ them. And they exploit their labor for a lower wage intentionally to take advantage of them at the expense of American workers. It's not Donald Trump who's at fault. It's the business owners who create the incentive for these people to come over.
You are wrong.
This might sound weird. The same as I said, like, I don't really blame the rock throwers, right? It's like, just arrest them and that's it. Like, I'm not like emotionally angry at them. They're just retards, right? It's not really worth taking seriously or getting angry about. I also don't blame any of the illegal aliens. Like, if I lived in like one of these like shitty South American countries, I would want to come to America too. And I would do everything that I could to come to America. And I never try to blame a person acting in self-interest. I understand that. But the problem is the reason why they come to America is because America provides benefits for them that they shouldn't provide, like these jobs. That's the issue. You can blame them too? Sure. I mean, yeah, obviously they shouldn't do it. Yes, definitely. But I think that there's like there's a totally different set of expectations that I have here. Like, a lot of these illegals, I mean, if you want my honest opinion, I wish we could replace half of these shrieking Karens with these illegal aliens. Send the shrieking Karens back to Venezuela or Mexico. Let's keep these hardworking illegals here, and let's just do a fucking swap. I feel like literally everybody would be better off. Well, not Venezuela or Mexico, but we certainly would be. Yeah, 2-for-1 trade. Yeah, that's actually the way that I feel. Like, I don't hate these illegals. Like, we have to get rid of them and they shouldn't be here. But I understand their problems. Of course I understand them. It's easy to understand it. Of course.
We know what this is all about. We have people who are immigrants here who are trying to seek a better living, who have come from places where they have experienced this kind of thing that he's doing here today. Yeah. People who work every day, people who are paying taxes, who are raising their families, who are supporting education. They should not be treated this way. They should be given an opportunity to tell their story, whom they are, and why
they can tell their story from the country that they came from. Like, I mean, we have a World Wide Web. I mean, they can just record it in Mexico or wherever they came from. Like, yeah, they can tell the story. There's nothing wrong with telling the story. You just can't do it here.
here and ask the United
States. A disgustingly dishonest person? Well, of course, right? I mean, and again, like this type of thinking can only survive inside of an echo chamber of lies where it's completely censored. And this is the reason why the Overton window has shifted so much, is because social media and media in general is less homogenous and less censored now. You're seeing the massive shift because a lot of these opinions are like endangered species. They can't actually exist in an environment and in the ecosystem by themselves. They have to be protected on reservations or some form of wildlife conservation. And so they have to be taken care of and made sure, because like if you introduce them into the free marketplace of ideas, they immediately fall apart. Do you think she'd give the opportunity for people that just lived, entered her house illegally? No, of course not. How would an illegal immigrant pay taxes if they aren't a citizen? They do pay taxes in some ways, but not other ways. It's very complicated. And like, so for example, one of the big issues is that, so like for Social Security, for example, they might pay their sales tax, right? Obviously that's the easiest one. But like for Social Security, in a lot of these cases, I think the employers are not paying their Social Security. So Social Security for a lot of jobs, and correct me if I'm wrong, I could be a little bit off on this, but the way Social Security tax works is that the employer pays half and the employee pays half. Well, if you're hiring a person who's an illegal, well, you're not paying that half. They can't collect. Yeah, exactly, right? Wrong unless they're working under a table? Yeah. Which a lot of them are. It's called an I-10 number. Yeah, I know. My dad worked with them whenever he worked at the IRS, actually. Yeah, I know. Individual tax identification number. Yeah, I know. But that's not supposed to be for illegals. That's supposed to be for migrant workers and people that are here on work visas, which is another very big difference.
Do what the Constitution allows us to do, and that is give them consideration for having citizenship here.
Ms. Maxine Waters, thank you for those words. Another thing, do you find it coincidental that this is happening at this time of the year right now? Is there anything that you can correlate with the timeline that it's happening with right now alongside?
No, I think that the president has not been able to live up to the threat that he used during his campaign, where he was going to get millions of them out of here. And I think it's come to the point where he thinks he's got to show something. But also, his ridiculousness has taken over the armed services to celebrate his birthdays coming up. And people are saying, are you going to spend millions of dollars celebrating your birthday using the armed services to do it? And I think that adds to it. All of this is coming to the forefront now.
And Congresswoman, how should the city of LA...
Does she think that his birthday is the 4th of July? I think that's what she thinks, right? Like, I don't know. Like, what the fuck?
In the state of California react to this? What's the smart play here?
All of the elected officials in this city should be on the street. The mayor should be on the street. The city council should be on the street. Everybody should be on the street. All of the state elected officials. All of us in Congress. We're supposed to be in Congress tomorrow, but I want you to know I'm trying to stop him from getting richer and richer on crypto. The more money he has, the more powerful he has, the more he will elect people. So we got a lot of work to do.
Bodies on the street, basically.
Bodies on the street. People on the street. Absolutely.
Ms. Waters, before we let you go, anything that you can say to anybody watching or the public that wants to come out here, or just simply watching, or wants to know anything that you want to tell them that they should do or shouldn't do?
Well, here's what I want to...
Somebody says your type of thinking is very selfish and egotistical, especially saying we have to deport these people, especially whenever you include hardworking and respectful immigrants. How can you at least show some selflessness whenever for good immigrants? I do. I absolutely do. See, you've done the thing that I've been criticizing people for doing. You have put all immigrants in the same bucket, when in fact they're not in the same bucket. The reality is that a lot of the immigrants that I'm talking about, how could you say that they're respectful whenever their existence in this country to begin with is an act of disrespect? They don't even respect our laws. That's why they're here in the first place. So this is a ridiculous thing to even say. And do you think I want to have like legal immigrants get deported? No, that's ridiculous. He didn't say illegal. Exactly. Yeah, I don't have a problem with legal immigrants. I mean, I'm sure some people do, right? But I don't. That's not really a big deal to me. So, and this is, again, it's the intentional misunderstanding and the intentional misrepresentation that really, I think this is really going to cause a tremendous amount of xenophobia, and the backlash from this will be bad, and it will negatively affect average immigrants that are part of the group that he's talking about. And the reason why is because he's using emotionally charged language to push a narrative that's wrong. And it's more important for him to push this wrong narrative so he can feel good than to look at what the best thing for those immigrants actually is.
Support. I want to support people having a voice. Peaceful protests are okay. They're all right. I want them to know what happened in the civil rights movement, where we got on the street, where we marched, where we fought, and we made the government.
I remember when Martin Luther King said in his speech to burn down cars and throw bricks at police officers. That was my favorite part of his speech. He says, I have a dream where we throw bricks at police officers and we burn down a 7-Eleven. Remember that? Bro, that went hard.
Change, and we got voting rights peacefully. And so people can protest peacefully. They should come out and they should have a voice, and they should not allow the intimidation to force them to do nothing. Do something.
Do something.
Something.
Do not let the intimidation force you to do nothing. Do something. Words from Congresswoman here, Maxine Waters. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Only bricks and peace.
I can't believe these.
It's ridiculous to compare the civil rights movement to this. It's not even close to the same thing. Of course it's not. It's not even in the same universe. LA Riot Live. Yep. Someone said I would deport Anne Frank, which doesn't even make sense. What? How would you deport Anne? Where? To where? What the fuck? You would deport Jesus? Wait. To where? Oh my god. You see Hassan? No, I don't see Hassan. I heard he was out there. I don't know. I think that I saw an image of it, and I think he's on like the side up the top. So he's not actually going to go down there and stand in the in this area, because if he did, he'd get in trouble. Right? Like, he has no problem LARPing as a revolutionary, but actually putting it on the line, this is going to be very different, which, to be fair, he was. Well, if he was actually doing that, he should get in trouble. Like, I mean, for sure. He was, though? Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to go and double check. He already did? Oh, I'd have to double see and see it. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I think all these people should just get arrested. That's really how I see it. Yeah, I mean, I don't see how like, there's no other solution to it other than that. Aren't they impeding a highway? They are. They're impeding a highway. And this causes, and this is the issue that, like, whenever you block, like, you know, like, if have you guys ever had like a really bad accident on the highway, and then it fucks up your local traffic because there's people trying to get to the highway that can't get there because of this massive fucking, like, this thing? Yeah, for sure, right? And so, like, traffic is kind of like, think of it as like a I don't know, like a nervous system or like a blood system, right? Like, it's contracting and expanding over time. And so if you stop it at one point, you cause a problem throughout the entire system. And so this will inconvenience, like, emergency vehicles. It will inconvenience all kinds of places. People are hoping so badly this catches on the rest of the country, and it won't, but nobody gives a shit anymore. Well, I think that it will catch on if these people don't get arrested and held accountable. Like, that's really what the problem is. It's like there's no arrests, they're not telling people to leave. Like, this shouldn't even be happening for as long as it has been. They're protesting for a good cause against the government. It doesn't give a fuck about due process in courts. Civil disturbance like this is a normal way to protest. No, it's not. Getting in the street. This is my viewpoints, right? They're really loud. I will vote for whoever will put these people in jail. Like, whatever it takes to put all of these people in jail and lock them up for, like, a massive period of time, that's what I want to vote for. Should they kill the protesters? No, I don't see why you would kill them. No, absolutely not. There's no reason to do that. Where's the U.S. flags? This is a protest in America. There aren't any. Yeah, this is, again, yeah, literally no. Oh, there's one. There's the U.S. flag up there. Okay, to be fair, there is one. It's not even 100 people. I think this is cinema, but I feel bad for the police for sure. Yeah, definitely. Where's the due process when these illegals came in? Why are people like that chatter caring for due process? Because they don't care for due process. They only want to advocate for due process because it's a beneficial roadblock that benefits them. They don't actually care about it one way or another. What are they clapping for? I don't know. Aren't you supposed to get government approval for protests? Well, not only are you supposed to get government approval for protests, but a lot of like the MLK famous protests, he did actually have permits for, and they did get approval for. How do we get to a point where 40% of LA is foreign born? Well, I have no idea. And also, again, Martin Luther King himself even said that he didn't support blocking traffic. Let me see if I can show you. Let's see here. And, I mean, this is an AI summary, so people feel free to not believe it. But this is an example right here. While Martin Luther King was known for his nonviolent protest acts as marches, he did not support the deliberate blocking of traffic as a primary tactic. He viewed such actions as a misguided approach and was uncomfortable with the potential inconvenience and disruption. So, I mean, it's and there's obviously, like, information, there's a quote of this and everything, right? And so, like, this is, I mean, you can just look this up. Yeah, so, and like, so I just wanted to show you guys that because, like, there is, like, this false narrative that, well, because this is what happened in civil rights, this is why it's okay to do it now. That's not even what happened in civil rights. With the World Cup next year? Oh boy. Well, it's good that they're cleaning it up now, right? I'd feel that's really good. Where's the National Guard? I don't know. There's hardly any turnout. This has no movement. Well, it has enough movement for the police not to do anything about it. They were talking about the Boston Tea Party. This is in the 1700s. Well, the difference with the Boston Tea Party is that you didn't live in a democracy. So in the Boston Tea Party, the reason why people threw the tea in the sea is because they weren't able to vote and be represented. These people are able to vote and they are being represented. They just lost. They're mad because, like, basically, like, you know, oh, well, I lose Monopoly. I'm going to flip the fucking board over. Keep it up. Keep it up. Do it 100 more times. It's going to get rid of Donald Trump. Keep it up. Yeah, look at them all. That's crazy. There's a second group at the ICE facility too? Yeah. Some policies can be against minorities and they have the right to protest. Well, I mean, that doesn't even make sense. Everybody has the right to protest. This isn't protest. Standing in the middle of the street isn't a protest. Yeah, that's not protesting. That's breaking the law. Like, if you go and you go into your local highway and you stand in the middle of your highway, they're going to arrest you eventually. Yeah, like, and that's it. It's back up to the 5 near me now. I don't know where that is. This looks more like an invasion, to be honest. I think that this is a problem that's very easily solvable. All you have to do is arrest the people that are in the highway, and then just let the rest of them fuck off. Like, that's it. It's literally really simple. Switch the audio. This is so annoying. Let me see if I can find another video. You're actually kind of right. It is kind of annoying. Yeah, we got another one right here. Look at them all. God damn. God damn. China shot protesters in the 80s. That's what we should do here. I don't advocate for, and I'm not a fan of shooting protesters unless they're using deadly force, like throwing rocks or something like that, or shooting you. I don't think it needs to come to that. Yeah, there's no reason to do that. I work here. This is fucking annoying. Uh-oh. Why aren't the police doing anything? Welcome to the last 5 years of my life. That's what I've been wondering for the last 5 years. It's so annoying. Yeah, it is. Do you think that by doing this, all the illegal immigrants will just become illegal? Yeah, that's clearly what they're trying to do. Being a Mexican American, this shit's so embarrassing. I know. Listen, like I live in Austin, Texas. I'm pretty sure Austin, Texas used to be Mexico, maybe, or it was at least very close to it. Most Mexican Americans don't support this either. That's why Latino men voted. Like, there's a huge increase in Latino guys voting for Trump. Nope. You spot Hassan? No, I don't see him. I don't see him. See if we can get a higher quality. No, this is as good as it gets. I'll see if he pops up. He's up to the white sign guy. Oh, over there. I can't see that at all. If you grow up in Texas, you spend your life around Hispanics, they're more conservative than most white Americans. Yeah, I mean, like, my experience is that they are, especially with a lot of social issues. Because a lot of them are very religious. Roman Catholics? Oh, yeah. Whenever we, my mom and I, more yelling. Yeah, again, not a, I think maybe that's an American flag. I don't know if it is. Other than that, not a single American flag in sight. There you go. When you go down and protest for the other side instead of just talking about it? Well, because I do the thing that works. I vote for people that arrest the people that do this. I think the democratic process is a really good idea. And so, like, instead of going and standing out in the street, I just patiently wait for the ability to vote, and then I vote for people who I think will solve the problem. But you didn't vote? Yeah, and I don't really feel like, I don't feel bad about that right now. Because what I would have voted for is for somebody to come in and arrest all of them. But it didn't happen. That's my whole point.